Hey y'all, this is SWV Season 2, Episode 3. And I will put the link down below to the full episode in the description box down below. Don't panic. If you just want to see the episode, that's perfectly fine. But since I'm hooking you up anyways, go ahead and hit me off with a like, alright? Okay. So let's get into it. So first off, the girls are just coming off from being mad at Taj because they found out that Taj slept with Kenny Ortiz, who was a record exec back in the day, who was always beefing with Coco. And Coco always had been hearing for years and years that Taj was going back and telling Kenny stuff, but Coco would take up for Taj. And that's really what broke them apart, is because, Kenny didn't like Coco, so whatever Taj told Kenny, he went back and used it against Coco. So now Coco feels some type of way, so she has left the building. She has left New York City and she has went back home to work on her gospel career. So Taj stops and goes see Lily, and basically she's just apologizing for, not letting her know all these years that her and Kenny had a relationship, and since that was her sister, she apologizes. She really didn't feel like it was anybody's business, but since she sees that it affects Coco and Lily so bad, that she's just gonna suck it up and she gonna apologize. And she asked Lily, basically, let's get back in the studio. Coco ain't here. We gotta do what we gotta do anyways. So Lily and Taj go to the studio and they're working with this producer named, what's his name? Aaron Tyson. Shit, I hit my hand. Aaron Tyson or something. And he's like, oh, okay, well, nice to meet you, but where's Coco? We don't want to work with you. We want to work with Coco. He's trying to be like bullshit them, basically. Like, well, when I had the song in my head, I always heard Coco's voice. Even with the chorus, you're gonna be on there too, okay? Just nobody's gonna hear you, but you're gonna be on there too. But I've always heard Coco's voice on the hook, and 99.9% of the song, okay? All right, and they're like, look, Coco ain't here. So we gonna do what we gotta do, okay? Coco's not here, so we gonna record the vocals without her. And they're sitting there, and he's like, well, I just don't feel, we can't do this without Coco. We just can't. And they're like, look, we're gonna have to do what we gotta do. She's not here. She's not here to record. The show still goes on. And so Corey is just sitting there looking. I'm like, Corey, that's why they don't want you to be their manager anymore, Corey. Because you ain't saying shit. Anyways, so they go on. They end up recording the song anyway. The song was cool. I wasn't feeling it like that or whatever. And the producer is feeling it. He's like, okay, this is cool. What we really need to add on to the song is we need a rapper, maybe like Tip or something. And they're like, yes, I love Tip. I love T.I. Oh my gosh, yes, we should get Tip. No. So, reality hits them. Later on, the producer comes on and was like, look, we couldn't get no big rapper because they all want to work with Coco. If Coco ain't there, they ain't doing it. So the girls is like, wow, how are we supposed to show people that we can do without Coco if nobody wants to work with us without Coco? Like, come on now. We gonna have to start from scratch. And it's like, yeah, so you better get Coco or you better get out there hustling, because basically y'all just gonna be new artists again. So then So then they Taj with checking on her group or whatever. I guess she's running a record. I don't know what she's doing, but she has a group or whatever. I don't know if she's managing them. She's, putting them in her label or something. I forgot, okay? I'm just gonna be honest. And as she's getting on them, she's telling them to, tighten up. One of the guys from the group stops over and he shows her something on the phone and he's like, look what I found. This is Lily's daughter. And she's like, wow, oh my gosh, I have to tell Lily this. And she finds out that Lily's daughter Margaret is online and she's in some blog and she had been a call girl online. So right then she leaves, goes straight to go see Lily, and she's like, I gotta talk to you. And Lily's like, oh Lord, please don't tell me this is some SWV bullshit. And she's like, no, it's not that, but it is serious. She's like, what is it about me? And she's like, I know I shouldn't be making fun. I'm sorry. But anyways, she's like, no, it's about Margaret. And she's like, okay, what is it? And she was like, well, I was online and somebody showed me that Margaret is a call girl. And she's like, what are you talking about? And then she tries to show her. As soon as she pulls out her phone, Lily's like, no, I can't look at it. I can't see. She just couldn't take it. So then, Lily asked her, well, what's on there? What does it say? And she's like, it just says that she's, a call girl. Basically, that's all to it. And Lily's like, wow, like, I don't understand this. I don't get this. And she just breaks down crying. I felt so sorry for her. And she's like, I don't understand why would she do this? Like, I don't get it. And she's blaming herself, and I'm like, wow. So after that, Lily had to go talk to her daughter immediately, and she goes meet up with her at the park somewhere in Atlanta. I forgot. And she asked her, well, how's everything? What's going on? And she's like, nothing. I'm just trying to be a good aunt, now, and I'm just trying to teach her about her self-worth. And I'm like, wow. Okay, me and my client was like, wow, you need to take your own advice. And she's like, well, yes, we do need to teach her what's important about how to treat herself. And from there, I'm going to say that I found something online about you, and it said that you were a call girl. And her daughter is like very honest with it. She's like, yes, I was a call girl. It was because I was mad at you. I was very young. I was like 18 or 19, and I was, figure I would just make some money, and I was mad at you. You never I never, had a relationship with my father. I never got to really spoke to him. Anytime I would ask you about my father, you would basically say, I don't know, or you can't give me any details on it. And please, like, well, I did the best I could do. I did all I could. I can't give you what I don't have. I can't tell you things I don't know. I'm sorry. And they're crying, and she's like, well, Mom, it wasn't your fault. This was my decision that I made, and it was very stupid, and I learned better from it. And I'm like, oh, well, at least that it was in the past, and she ain't still doing it, and they decided to go to therapy, and they need it. They truly do. She said she had low self-esteem problems and all kind of stuff. So then they end up going to therapy, and Lily tells her that she found out that her daughter was a call girl, and she asked her therapist asked her, how did she get into it? She said, well, I had a girlfriend that would go out of town sometimes, and when she come back, she have loads of cash. And I decided, I was comfortable when my mother was touring and everything. But when she stopped touring and stopped working, I said, well, I'll make my own money. And she can just, decide what she going to do for her and my brother. And I'll take care of myself. And I'm like, wow. Wow, that is deep. Okay? Because from what I know, she still live with her. She's 25. She still live with her mother. She probably was still living with her mama while she was, cooking. So, God bless her, okay? So then the therapist asked, well, has there been any sexual abuse, anything like that going on? And Lily's like, well, when I was younger, I had been molested by my uncle's wife. And she's like, okay. And she was really nice. I just remember her always being really nice to me. And she took me in the bathroom one time, and when she got older, she realized that what she had done was, sexually abuse. She was sexually abusing her because she realized that, okay, she was violating me back then. So that meant that, I was sexually abused. And Lily's like, well, I didn't realize that until I was grown. And she's deceased. So I could kick her ass. And I'm like, wow, that's deep. So then, I think the therapist asked her daughter that, and she's like, yeah, and she's like, yeah. And Lily's like, no, And the therapist asked Lily, did you know about it? And she's like, no. And the daughter's basically like, yeah, it happened. So then they asked her, okay, well, what happened? She said, when I was about 4 years old, there was a friend of the family, and she was a female. And she would babysit me, and she would take me into the bathroom or the room, and she would put her mouth on me, and she would ask me, did I like that? What different stuff that I liked. And Lily is just crying because she never knew this. Her daughter's like 25, 26 years old. She never knew that. So that was the time, the therapist asked her, okay, when did you start going on tour? And Lily's like, when I was 19. So I think Lily had her daughter at 15, and she's like, well, that's around the same time that she was 4 years old. She was like, wow, I just feel so bad. I was on tour. I thought I was doing the right thing for y'all by taking care, providing financially for y'all, but I wasn't there to protect my children. That's what a mother is supposed to do. I feel so horrible. She's just crying her eyes out, and they're trying to tell her, it's not your fault. You didn't know what was going on. I just think that is such, that's horrible. I feel for her. That is really, really horrible. I hope that this therapy session that they keep going to really works for them. Because that's horrible. I mean, all I can say is parents, pay attention to your children. Okay, ask them, has anybody been touching them? Because sometimes they don't realize what's going on is wrong, and sometimes they do. And like they said on the show, a lot of times kids feel like, well, if they go and tell them that their parents or adult is not going to believe them, so they don't even bother telling them. So that sucks, but I'm glad that it's on TV, so it can show other people. and other people can learn from that. And you can also learn that, you know, it ain't the men you gotta just watch around your kids. It's females too. Alright, so next, you know, it's Lily and Taj, and they doing a choreography for their song. And Taj is having a dizzy spell. And this is like several times that this has been going on, where she's like can't stand up straight, she's woozy. And Corey tells Lily, look, I think we need to take her to the hospital. And Lily's like, okay, we definitely gonna take her to the hospital. So they go to the hospital, and while, you know, Todd is in the room, Lily calls up Coco. And Coco's like, what's going on, Lily? And, you know, Coco's like, Taj has had another dizzy spell. You know, she's been having seizures, all kind of things going on. I know you down there, you mad or whatever, but you need to come to Atlanta because this is your sister. And Lily's like, look, okay, look, I ain't really feeling all that, okay, because I wasn't feeling she was messing with Kenny, and she was talking all kind of stuff about me. I'm not feeling all that right now. And plus, I just got home, and I just want to spend time with my husband and my kids, okay? And Lily's like, look, basically want to be like, look, bitch, I know you and your feelings or whatever. I'm going through my own stuff with my daughter. I'm here for my sister because she needs us. My daughter needs me too, but my sister is in the hospital. She needs me and she needs you. So you get your ass up here. And you know, Coco's like, well, I definitely pray for her, but I ain't coming down there. All right, I'm not feeling all that. All right, bye. So they're at the hotel, and you know, Taj was released. They told her it was nothing for her to get, you know, admitted in the hospital for because it was just a dizzy spell. She just needs to take it light. It wasn't another seizure. She wasn't, you know, she didn't have any more pneumonia or anything like that. Just take it light. So then I hear a knock on the door, and of course it's Coco. Coco, you know, Coco plays the diva, the villain, all that, but she loves her sisters. No matter what, however mad she gets at them, she's still gonna be there for them. They've been friends for over 30 years. They're going to get over it. All this breaking up shit, I don't even take it serious anymore because they break up and make up so many times. So that's it for SWV. I'm about to watch the Braxtons and then review them. I am tired as hell. I'm gonna try to give that review some energy too, but that's it for this. So thanks. Follow me on Twitter at Jazz Chapman. The video to the full episode is down below in the description box. And y'all be easy. Like, share, comment, and subscribe. Peace.